Okay, so I want to spend a few moments talking to you about the BookDao. The good thing is that the pattern that the BookDao uses is exactly the same as the pattern that was used by the user DAO. So really, if you understand how the user DAO works, the BookDao is really straightforward. So we've got our constructor, and it connects to a different data store called books.db instead of users.db, but everything else is the same. The code that does row to book, well, instead of doing row to user, we're doing row to book, and it just extracts each column from a book row, or let me say it a different way. The book row is considered basically a dictionary object, and we're specifying the keys for each item in the dictionary. So title is a key, author is a key, ISBN is a key, and votes is a key. And we're calling a book constructor for a book object, and that's how you pass in the arguments to the book constructor for title, author, ISBN, and votes. And so that gets us a book back. We also have book to row. So what book to row is going to do is it's going to take a book object that has a title, author, ISBN, and votes, and it's going to construct a row dictionary object that has title, author, ISBN, book, and votes. All right, now we have select by ISBN. Well, it works exactly the same way as select by user ID. The key here is that we use self.table.find1, and we pass an ISBN in, which uniquely identifies books in the data store, and we get back a single book. Our expectation is we get a single book back. If we get no books back, that's an error. And we take that single book in the normal case with the else getting triggered here, and we convert that book from a row into an actual book object, and we return the book object. We also have select all, so we can say self.table all, and that's going to return all the books in the data store, and then we convert each one of those books into a book object and append that into a result and return the result. We have an insert for books, we have an update for books, and we have a delete for books. So nothing shocking there. It's just that for the update, we're identifying the key element in the row that's being passed in when the update occurs is we're updating by ISBN. So the book with the same ISBN will be wiped out from the table, and this new book row will be put in with that ISBN. When we do a delete, same deal. The book comes in, and see, there's a problem here. This is supposed to be book.isbn. Okay. We also have populate. So to do the populate, what we have is an insert of 4 books with votes of 0 for each of the books and a DB commit. Now, I have to say, I just realized that I made an error when I was explaining the user DAO, but I can correct the error right here. So I put a little bit of code right down here to make the populate method work, but I discovered when I ran that I actually put items in the database in the data store twice. So I'm going to show you how to use populate in a nice, super simple, easy, and efficient way. All right. Sure. Okay. So if I want to, let's say I have let's say I have a book DB, right? I have a books DB and a users DB. Let's say I'm not happy with my books DB. Somehow I corrupted it. Well, I can remove that and I can repopulate it. And the way I can do that is just by saying Python 3. All right, and then I'm going to tell this console that I want to import the BookDao. And so I'm going to say from BookDao. Notice that's all lowercase. Import BookDao. All right, I just imported the BookDao that we were looking at. And now I can say DAO equals BookDao. So I'm calling the BookDao constructor and I'm storing it in that DAO variable. And now I'm going to say DAO.populate. So when I BookDao.populate, I have actually created 4 books. And if I do an ls of star.db, I now have books again. Now I want you to make sure that you understand what I just did. I just listed the databases. There's books.db. I then removed books.db and I got rid of it. I then started Python 3 to get a console, Python interactive console up and running. And in the console, I just typed a couple lines of code. Import BookDao, get me the BookDao, and say DAO.populate. And that will put the books back in the database. And now I do an ls db, books.db is there, and it's now populated with the books. Okay, that wraps up our discussion of, ooh, no, I remembered there's just a few more things I wanted to tell you, just a few last things. So I noticed that in order to use Python 3 with Flask, there's a couple of things that you need to do, a couple of commands that you need to write. And so I wanted to share those commands with you. So the first command is this. You have to write this command, Python 3 -m pip install JSON pickle. That will let the encode method work. If you don't do that, you won't be able to encode data and pass it into your sessions. Python 3 -m pip install Flask. That'll make sure you have the most up-to-date and correct version of Flask for Python 3. And Python 3 -m pip install dataset. So you're going to issue those commands right here. I'll show you an example of how to do one. Okay, so you would do it right here on the command line. All right, it's saying that it's already installed, which because I installed it. Okay, that's it. You should be ready to do the Flask version of your email program now. Good luck, and make sure you shoot me an email if you have questions or come to the office hours online and ask me questions. All right, take care. Bye.